What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. My aim this week, this week in general, it's the 1st of January at time of recording this. In fact, you might be watching this in the 1st of January. My aim this week, guys, is to sort my lighting out because it's just ridiculous. I don't like the door being open, but when I close the door, the light reflects off of it a lot harsher and it makes the lighting even worse. So I've got it open just for now, really. On the screen, guys, you can see the team that we're taking into FUT Champs. We are starting our FUT Champs gameplay today. Pretty damn awesome team. Not much to improve on. I was actually just talking on Twitter. Again, people like accusing me of cheating in this series. And if you want to if you want to feel like I've cheated, if that makes you feel better because you're not as good at like generating coins as others, then you can feel like that, that's fine. I've documented everything I do. Of course, there are times where I miss things specifically. One of the things to note was that in the last episode, I missed how much I bought Henrik Mkhitaryan for, which I believe was 208,000 coins, and then I sold him for like 235,000 coins. But I will always show it at some point. Like, I noticed that I missed the recording of buying him, so I showed how much I bought him for in the recording of selling him. As I say, if you wish to think that I've cheated, feel free to not watch. I don't force people to click on this series. It's super easy to generate coins with FUT Champions. I finished into Elite at least. I finished Gold 1 or Elite every single time except for week 1 where I finished Gold 2. From those match coins alone, and from the coin earnings alone, not even considering the packs, it's well in excess of 1.5 million coins earned. It's not too much to assume that you can earn good money from just playing FUT Champs. Even just playing FUT Champs, I sit there and I look at Nick's poor man's Road to Glory, and Nick's played a few less games than me. I don't know why I've played more games. It might have been all those cup games and stuff that I was sitting there playing. But in general, he's played a few less games than me. He has a much better team than me, and he has a considerable number of more coins than me. And that's for a couple of reasons. Number one, his investments were just smarter than mine. He invested very cleverly in a few players very early on in FIFA, and they paid dividends to him. He bought Kante at 135, I believe, whereas I bought Kante at 250. He bought Walker at like 70 or 80k, whereas I bought Walker at like 240 or 230, or maybe even 220. Sorry. But just in general, he's been far more clever with his investments. He's had considerably better pack luck than me as well. The only real notable player that I've packed throughout this whole campaign, two actually I would say, the informed Nainggolan, who I eventually sold for 400k, who again I made a mistake on. I could have held on to him for another 2 days. I would have got another 100,000 coins for selling him. And we also packed informed Pjanic when he was going for about 135k about 6 weeks ago or so. But Nick gets super lucky with a lot of SBC packs, packing not necessarily like world superstars, not Ronaldo's or Messi's anything, but he gets a lot of packs of Yaya Toure, packs a couple of decent informs, and just in general his pack luck has been better than mine. On top of that, his investments and such, he just seems to be smarter with his coins than me. And I think I've spoke about it before, but it's a good thing that he's smarter with his coins than me because it shows that you can do things for super cheap, also for free. I do the SBCs pretty much straight away. Nick typically waits until right at the end to do his SBCs. I did the SBC Costa for about, I think it was about 380 to 400k. I think Nick did it for like 200k. So he saved another 200,000 coins there. And I regret that about what I've done on my Road to Glory and want to change that moving forwards because it's I'll be honest, I get jealous. I get very envious. I get envious of looking at Nick's coin balance, thinking, God damn, I've screwed up massive. So even if you're thinking I'm cheating, I wouldn't be where I'm at if I was cheating, because I would just be able to cheat my way to have infinite coins all the time. I've made a lot of huge mistakes with how quickly I've done SBCs. Some of the SBCs I've done, some of the SBC cards that I have in my club that literally just sit there doing nothing, are probably to the tune of about 1 to 1.6 million coins of SBCs that I have not even played a game on. I've got that Gianluigi Buffon. I haven't touched him. De Rossi. I don't even think I've got him on the bench anymore. I don't know why I took him off the bench in the first place, but I don't have him on the bench anymore. I've got that Insigne. I use him as a sub every now and then, but in general, don't really use him very much. I can't even remember half the other dudes that I did that I don't even use because I don't even use them. So yeah, I've been very poor with my coins and my purchase choices. But what I feel like now is I feel like I'm in a position with this team now where I'm comfortable with what I've got and what I'm using, and now it's just going to be about literally saving coins for Team of the Year, which is coming around real quick, by the way. I think it's going to be Monday the 9th that Team of the Year is going to be released into FIFA. The Defenders, I believe, will be Monday, basically next Monday, you know, 8 days from now. I believe that's going to be when the Defenders are out. Now, I'm not going to be worried about trying to buy or pack Team of the Year players. If I said Team of the Season, I apologise. I'm not going to be worried about buying or packing Team of the Year players until either all of them are in packs or until just after they're out packs, because that's when people will then start selling up and stuff. So I am interested to see what the Team of the Year is, so that I can invest in someone and buy it and get them onto my account. But in general, I want to start saving the coins. I want to make sure that I've got a war chest to be able to use whoever I want. Ultimately, you know, I do want Ronaldo in this Road to Glory. I don't know how I'm going to fit him in because I've got Hazard and I love him. I've got, you know, Son and I love him. And as a spoiler again, mute for 20 seconds if you don't want to hear this. I did buy, which you'll see in the next episode, I bought the 90 rated Alexis Sanchez for 1.1 million, which was all the coins I had at the time. And I bought him just because I used him in draft again and he's just unreal. And even though I was happy with what I was playing with the Son, Hazard, Walcott trio up front, I wanted to try everyone on 10 chem up there. So I've got Hazard back at left forward, Sanchez at striker, and Walcott at right forward. So, you know, even when I do get Ronaldo, if I get a Team of the Year player, I don't know how I'm going to fit them into the team because, like, what am I going to do? Take out a player like Hazard, who's just unbelievable for me, for a player who's barely going to do better just because he's Ronaldo, who's worth like 1.3, 1.4, 1.5 million. Like, am I really going to do that? Am I really going to take out someone like that to put in someone worth 1.6 million? Just because I'm just for the sake of doing it? I don't think I can do that. So it's going to be interesting to see who the Team of the Year are, so that I can decide who I want to add into my team and how I want to adapt and change the team. But again, just to go back to the whole point, like, if you feel like I'm cheating and you've got a question about something where you're unsure as to how a certain thing came about, feel free to ask it in the comments, and I'll either point you to the video which explains your question, or I'll explain to you why I left out of a video what I did for that thing. Like I say, like, sometimes I'm just sitting there at night looking at some stuff, and I was looking at Mkhitaryan, and I was like, oh, maybe I should try Mkhitaryan. I didn't really like Eriksen. I wanted another 5-star weak foot player up front just to test him out. And I looked on the trade pile, and Mkhitaryan at the time was selling for, I think, about 220 to 230,000 coins. And bam, I checked up and one popped up at 208,000 coins. So I thought, hey, let me just buy him anyway, because worst case scenario, I can sell him on for 220 and make a few thousand coins. So I bought him, I tried him, I didn't like him, and I sold him. You know, and as I say, I didn't show me buying him because I just didn't have everything set up to record that. You know, it was just a heat of the moment thing where I just sat there and was like, yep, I'm taking him. Let's go. Bang. Same with Sanchez, you know. I was looking at Sanchez and I had enough coins. There was a couple there, and in the end I was like, you know what, let me just do it. Let me just buy him. I don't think I showed me buying Sanchez either. I show him in the team and how much I bought him for, but I don't actually show me buying him. Something that I do want to change for the Road to Glory going forwards is trying to be more live on the Road to Glory. You know, I do a lot of post-com, and I've got a lot of questions again today for today's video. I know I do a lot of post-com, but I want to be live when I record the video, so you guys know where my head's at when I'm doing things. Because sometimes I'll do something and then I won't record. Like this gameplay that you're watching, I recorded this gameplay on Friday, and I'm now editing it and like post-comming it on Sunday. So there might be things that I've done during this time where I can't even remember why I did it or what I did it for. I might be sitting there thinking, why did I try that? Why did I do this thing? Why did I put that chem style on, or that position, or why did I switch to this team, or why did I do that? So if I can try and do it live a bit more, that would be much helpful. But what I need to do first is get caught up properly to where I'm at, so then I can start doing live things, you know, because right now, even some episodes, like half of it's live and half of it's not. Like when I do the rewards, like I'll post-com the gameplay that I had before the rewards, I'll do live rewards and then I'll post-com afterwards. I don't want to do it like that. I want to do a lot more of it live. The biggest problem I have is I wouldn't mind streaming a lot of it, because I enjoy streaming, and I specifically enjoy streaming the Road to Glory. The problem is the quality of the content, like the actual quality, is just not good enough. You know, I've put a lot of streaming content up before, and it just looks really poor. And I don't like bringing that to YouTube. I don't like bringing like washed out gameplay, you know, where it just looks vague, it looks very faint, and it's like pixelated at times. I don't like bringing that to YouTube. So I need to figure out a way how I can record myself live and record the gameplay and myself at a very, very high standard, basically. So that's my aim. But anyway, moving on to some questions. Boobly Doopy Doo says, "Hey Nep, what do you think about EA not having formations in Ultimate Team while they have them in like career mode formations like 4-2-4 and 4-1-3-2? I don't know why they do it, but it will be awesome if you read this. Love your videos and keep up the good work." So the only like real information I've got as to why this may or may not happen is because I asked about it a few years ago, back when I went to one of the capture events, and the response was basically that the 4-2-4 in Ultimate Team is too strong a formation. Now, this is actually that was brought to my attention before Park the Bus was actually ever in FIFA. It was only when you could go as most ultra defensive. We talk about Park the Bus, and there's actually in fact, the next comment is about Park the Bus, and this, in my opinion, would be a perfect counter to that. So the reason why certain formations aren't in the game, I feel like, are just because they're just too strong a formation for Ultimate Team and how you can manipulate the gameplay. But I'll read this next comment as well, because it ties in with this. It's from Taran Deep. He says, "Hi Nep, you complain about Park the Bus, but saying there is no way to counter this, but there is, because pro players who get 40 out of 40 must come up against Park the Bus at least once, and they beat it. Also, isn't it just a broken game mechanic similar to how low-driven shots? There's no way to counter that when your goalkeeper parries it, so why is Park the Bus so bad? I understand it's anti-FIFA, but it's just a broken game mechanic and is overpowered. By the way, I'm a big fan. Would you love a reply to this and possibly elaborate on why they should fix a broken game mechanic like Park the Bus and not fix low-driven shots?" I don't say that they shouldn't fix low-driven shots, to be perfectly honest. I think they should fix them. I think they're stupidly broken. I think they're ridiculously easy to score from. However, the difference with something like Park the Bus and low-driven shots is you can counter low-driven shots. You can defend better. You can literally position your defender that you're controlling to not allow the person to take the shot. The goalkeepers are the counter to low-drivens. And I say this in a sense, like there are times where you just can't stop the ball going in the back of the net, but that's just football and FIFA anyway, right? But Park the Bus, and I've said this before, and I feel like I'm just going over old grounds, but obviously, you know, a lot of new faces watch these videos every day. The reason why Park the Bus is so overpowered is because it's how the AI works, basically. When you go Park the Bus, let's say you have a 5-3-2 formation, you go Park the Bus, you have 8 defenders and 2 advanced midfielders, because they're not attackers, because Park the Bus brings everyone back. It's Park the Bus. You're literally defending, and that is it. And it should only be used when you're winning and in late in games. That's neither here nor there. When you put 8 people in your box, right? And I go, even if I go all-out attack, if I switch my formation to 3-4-2-1 and go all-out attack, you know what happens? My 2 wingers will go up, my striker will go up, that's 5 people. 1 centre-back will go up, because that's what all-out attack does. Literally, all-out attack on the control pad sends 1 centre-back up. So 1 centre-back will go up, and my 2 centre-mids, because the centre-back has gone up, the way the FIFA mechanics work, the centre-mids compensate for that. So they actually drop back. So when you go to the most attacking formation, which is the 3-4-2-1 or any 3-back formation, and then go all-out attack, you essentially have 4 defensive players still that stay back. So you've got 6 players forwards against 8 players in the box and 2 players just outside the box. So you're basically in a 6 versus 10 scenario. At this point, when your opponent is passing the ball around the defence, you can manually press with 1 player, you can second man press with right bumper with a 2nd player, and you can go on the D-pad tactics team pressing, which basically pushes the team up as a whole, and it will take 1 extra player from your team and press the ball. So you can press with 3 players, but he has 8 players to pass it around. So you literally can't, if the person you're playing against is a competent player, you can't get the ball. You just can't do it. On top of that, if they then go shielding into the corner, you can press with 1 player, but because of the way shielding works, they like jockey automatically to not allow you to shield the ball, to not allow you to get the ball. You can even take a 2nd player, and you can't get the ball at times. The best case scenario is you push it out for your opponent to get the ball back again by a throw-in or a goal kick, or you end up fouling the opponent. On the odd occasion, you'll get it back, but they're broken to the point where there's no counter. You may say, oh, the pros go 40 out and 40, but they're a different class of FIFA player. And I'm not saying that I've never beaten Park the Bus before. You know, Park the Bus is beatable. It's just it's very much like on luck and circumstance rather than skill and ability. So at the times where I beat Park the Bus, if somebody goes Park the Bus against me and I finally get that breakthrough goal, it's like, it's a relief more than anything. And I don't necessarily think I get that goal because I'm more skilled or less skilled than the opponent, or because I've broken, you know, beaten a broken game mechanic. I believe that I just eventually wear him down enough to the point where he makes an error to allow me in. And I think the pros are just better at that. They're better at forcing user error, and user error is usually the reason why the person that's playing part of the bus concedes a goal. Even worse so when someone plays Part of the Bus and doesn't play. How annoying is that? Have you ever tried playing against someone who puts their control down? It's near impossible to score. Imagine then that they're also on Park the Bus and they're just controlling the striker and they just leave the striker up the top. I played against one, you'll see him I think in the next video, I played against a guy who literally wasn't playing the game. I think we end up going to penalties and drawing, and I won on penalties, but every time I got the ball, if I stood still, he would stand still. He wouldn't ever try and attack me, he wouldn't ever try and press the ball or get the ball off me. He was basically controlling his striker and just standing there until I made a mistake and the AI saved the ball for him. And people that don't play the game like that, alternatively, when he got the ball back, he was able to score, he started playing again. People who get the ball like that or play like that, first of all, I don't know how you have fun. I don't know how you have fun just allowing the AI to do all of the work, literally all of the work. I don't get how that's fun. But secondly, you can't counter that. And I say this because there's nothing in the game that allows you to beat that. But with the first comment that we had, why isn't something like the 4-2-4 in the game? EA said because it's too overpowered. I now feel like they should put something like that back in the game. Put in an overpowered offensive formation so that when somebody goes on a defensive formation and Park the Bus, you can be like, okay, you've done that, let me switch up to the 4-2-4. Let me go all out attack and high pressure and beat you. It would stop the anti-FIFA. And is there a problem with anti-FIFA? If that's how you wish to play, there's no problem with that. I personally don't enjoy anti-FIFA. You know, you guys see me, I go out all out. I try and attack all the time. I try and score goals. I try and have fun with FIFA. That's the way I like to play. You'll never ever see me Park the Bus passing it around the last, you know, the defence in the last 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. You just don't see it from me. First and foremost, because when I go Park the Bus, I just feel insane pressure on me and I end up losing and conceding more anyway. But, yeah, I don't know. If anti-FIFA is the way you want to get wins, that's fine. You know, wins are paramount in FIFA. Wins, ultimately, at the end of the day, the scoreline at the end of the match is the only important thing. Right? It doesn't matter how you got there or what you did to get it, who you beat or how you beat them. What matters is that you win or you don't win the game. So in that instance, yeah, you know, I understand why people play anti-FIFA, but although wins are priority number one in FIFA, I would never sacrifice having fun in a video game for only winning in the video game. You know, I find, like, for me personally, I find winning to be the most fun thing. But I would never, ever, ever go to a point where I just let the AI do everything. Like, you know, in a previous year in FIFA, you used to be able to press back on the controller and you could control a goalkeeper. People would literally just control the goalkeeper and let the AI do all of the work. Literally everything. It's stupid. I don't know how you can have fun. Like, I don't know why people are that desperate for wins that they would rather let the AI play for them than play themselves to try and get the win. I just personally don't understand it. That's, you know, that's my viewpoint, that's my opinion on the subject. I know a lot of people have a lot of differing opinions, but that's me. As you see here, guys, we played 25 games so far with the Reed and Smalling partnership. I lost one game in that first batch of 9, and that was the only game I've lost with that partnership. So 24 wins, 1 loss. I'll take it. This is going to be the end of the video, guys. If you did enjoy this, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.